you're recording.
Oh, Miss Doyle, you get me every time. You're so fun. You're hilarious, Miss Doyle.
And come on.
Oh, it's what?
Thursday again. You back?
Wait, what? Oh my God. Well, I guess if you guys are gonna keep showing up,
I guess we have to do it.
Keep doing it.
Interrupting my splish splash. Come on.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me get my bookmark here.
Yeah, let me get ready. Hold on. You know what? It's been a week. I think I deserve a beer. I'm gonna have a beer. Okay. You know,
get yourself a beer.
I've lost. You know.
I never drink these anymore, but I'll tell you what. Let me just go ahead and pour this off camera because I poured it right down the top. I didn't tilt the glass at all. So you know that was Foam Factory USA. Is all I'm saying. That's why he waited to pour the rest of it out because it was everywhere.
That's right. He had to. He had no choice.
It was everywhere. It was gross. The head on that looked disgusting.
And as a bartender, it was probably really hard to watch that.
It was tough. It was tough because you can put a beautiful head on that that's just clean, and it was gross. It was gross. I had to go to audio only.
Have you gone to audio just because of that? I've seen that. I remember when Deli and Brogan went to Ireland, they actually do like portraits of yourself. I think they charge you like $10 in the foam. Have you seen this?
I have not seen that, but I believe it because, I mean, you could take a butter knife and do art in that foam.
But I think it was more like photo. Like, I don't know how they did it, but whatever. It was probably worth it, you know.
Right. I would do it.
I probably would too.
If I was looking good, it depends. You know, if I was looking like trash like I do today, I would never. I'm a little under the weather, but
save your $10, get an extra, 2 Guinness probably.
Yeah.
So
anyway, what else is going on? We already did the pleasantries.
We did the pleasantries prior to hitting record. Although I did want to mention at the top of the podcast here that I don't think Detling watched our video. He said he watched the first 7 minutes.
Get out.
That's what he said. I don't know if he finished it. But just before we recorded tonight, we talked to him and Brogan. Finnegan, he was sleeping the whole time. And
of course.
Like, do not for a second think that he's having a rough time right now, because last night he got 6 hours of straight sleep, and for this afternoon 4 hours straight sleep. I'm like, you're not.
Dude, he's good. That's good for like a week now.
Yeah,
for like a week.
Like, they're almost to a normal sleep schedule. Like, well, we're going to bed around 12 or 1, getting up around 7. I'm like, what? It's like you're back to like a normal schedule. It's not even fair.
Seriously, already? The kid sleeps 14 hours at a clip. It's great. Never even he doesn't even have a butthole, actually. He's born without an anus. So he just like magically just turns into unicorn tears or something.
And the other thing I have to point out is that he told, I think you and I, through a text, that he changed 3 diapers in one day, and Brogan changed 0. Brogan said he has changed 0 diapers to this point. It's been Brogan the entire time. So Delly's going to try and take credit for something he's not doing. It's like, come on, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch, babe. He's trying to work on like making the play, getting a bye week. These antics aren't going to go far. I mean, you know how fantasy is. Very fickle beast. Like, live your best life. Be a good person. Otherwise, do you like Josh?
You're hating on Josh this year, aren't you?
I was. Well, we'll talk. Save
it.
Yeah, we'll save that.
The last thing I have to say is that Brogan said the only thing Delling's really doing right now is that he's holding a flashlight while she changes his diaper, which I don't think she even wants it or needs it, but he's like holding a flashlight.
Dude,
he's changing.
Listen, I remember. Okay, so Rosie was born January 6th, 2014.
That's a great date, by the way. Now it's aged well.
Thank you.
Anyways,
so then the Super Bowl is Denver versus Seattle that year, right? And I'm
Okay.
pulling for Manning. I'm sick of hearing about the
Of
Legion
course.
and they just went up in them 40-8, right? They beat their ass all night long.
Yep.
I was busting. I was working that night, so it was a long night. At the end of my shift, after everybody, I hadn't slept, dude, for a month. She was born January 6th. This is February 8th or something.
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as that last person left, I was bawling, dude. Cried like a baby. I was like, I just haven't slept in a month. She won't sleep. This is brutal, blah, blah, blah. And then I hear stories about Maddie. Just
Yes.
catching his dude, he's never gonna be crying in a month, acting that way.
No.
Get the fuck out
No.
of here.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm a grown ass man at 34 years old at this point, dude. And I'm like, dude, I never cried so hard. I was just like,
I mean,
newborns.
experience a little bit of that because it's not even fair. I was like, I barely get 6 hours of sleep right now with Nola, and she's 5, so it's like it's not even fair.
Not to mention they say boys are way easier, and I've seen it. We have one of our friends has like 4 boys.
Yes.
Boys and 2 girls. And these boys, you just punch them in the face and tell them what to do, and they do it. It's great.
They sleep, they eat.
You never slap your beautiful daughter, but your son, you just crack him. Like, get out here. Go do the laundry. Okay. Hey, makes you do things.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I think we both have made our positions clear. We hope that Finnegan kicks it up a notch in terms of not sleeping, whatever.
Crank that knob like Hulk Hogan
Yes.
said. Crank it to the point of just busting. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's not even working. He's not even working. Like,
what? Exactly. No, he did. He took a maternity leave, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So how long is he off?
He's up till January.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
I know. He's like, I'm going to enjoy the holidays.
Ugh. I could just see him sitting right. He's probably cracking a cord, and he's got all week to watch our video, and he can't even get that done. What the he never plays rocket. Like, what's he even doing all day?
Nothing. Not changing
Watching
diapers.
Watching Brogan do the work. I get it.
Watching Brogan do everything.
It's unbelievable.
He's probably taking a couple pictures, snapping a couple pictures.
Yeah, at the most intense times too.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I love it.
All right, you ready to do this?
I'm always ready, Brian.
Go. Just kidding. All right. Welcome to week 7 of Tonto's Demise podcast. I'm Hillbillies on PCP, Tonto Bull 6 champ.
And I am I'm
Good.
sorry, and he's here with Disco, and I am the yin to Craig's yang, basically.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. And maybe this, I'm not even gonna say because you don't want to jinx anything. So
no, this is my year. I'm gonna win.
okay, you're good. You're gonna jinx it. Okay.
This game's easy. I mean, you see what's going on with the Disco here. Anyway,
yes, I have. It's
looking good. Looking good
I
in
can
the
see.
standings. I'm sure the standings will be pulled up here. We're gonna
Yes, let's pull the standings up since we're speaking about it.
have a look here.
Have a look. See, you probably love staring at it.
It does look. It looks nice to see the points forward. To see that I have the most of those. That's always good, right?
Right.
That way, Kevin Bean can't talk shit on me.
He wants to.
I know, but I see that he has the least amount of those points that we were talking about, so he can't really say anything, can he?
Who's got the most points against?
Ooh.
Looks good.
Oh, that'd be a good lead into my. I
had a feeling that was coming.
Wait, where are we at here? Where can I look right at you?
That's perfect. There you go.
Is with you, Josh. After you went up in me, and you did, you hurt the Disco. You made Disco feel pain. You hurt me bad. You hurt me real bad, like 250 to 220. You have the sack to come onto the lineup. And I mean, half of these people just lost their match.
Yes.
Some of them by less than a point even. and you're gonna have the nutsack to say, "Why do people always pick the best week against me?" Dear God, it's me, Josh, and I just want to thank you, for letting you beat Disco. But why? What? How come I can't just, I scored 200. What happened to me? And God Himself looked down and He was like, John. He's like, actually, it's just. It doesn't matter what your name is. What matters is take your beating like a man. Don't cry. Do like Disco did. Call you a fucking asshole. Call you a prick, and get over it. Shut your mouth. After you do that to somebody, you got hoisted by your own petard, they say, and it made me feel so good to watch you. So for that, Josh, thank you for being my unfinished business. Yeah,
that's some really good unfinished business right there. But I want to say, what if you said all of that just to get under your skin? What if that was like some next level trash talk, and he was just knew that it was going to push your buttons? Do you think he has it in him?
If he does, then I'm proud of him because it worked.
I think he was legitimately crying.
He was.
But if he wasn't, that'd be amazing. If it was like directly targeted at you making that comment, that'd be
no way, not a chance, dude. He was all upset, dude. I know. Listen, and I get it. Scoring 200 and losing hurts.
Yes,
but when you just did that to somebody, you're not going to get the sympathy I think you're looking for on the app, I guess.
No, you're not going to find it at all.
No, it made me root against him real hard when Derrick Henry took off for that touchy. I wanted to be like, that's worth +3 in the app.
Yep.
I didn't. I kept it to myself. But yeah, no, I was a little perturbed about it. Like, shut up, dude. Hey, 220. You scored 207. Like, you didn't even. I mean, his team has never eclipsed 220 that I've ever seen, and might never do it again this year at least. It's hard to get to 220. I mean, it is 3 years without a score like that. Like, shut your mouth. Take your beat.
Like I said, I predict it's going to be a Disco Shawshank Tonto Bowl, and that would be an epic Tonto Bowl. It's definitely possible.
I don't want to play against a zero timer like myself, dude. I want the whole community rooting for me. I want to play against someone that's got multiple championships.
Oh yeah, so you can get the support.
Absolutely, because look, dude, every little bit helps. A little bit of energy thrown my way out in the universe could come back in a big way.
Yeah. Well, I want to take a look at these scores here for a second, and I'm noticing like the things that jump out to me right now is like Ed Logger and Jutt. Ed Logger's in the playoffs right now, and his points for and against are pretty much even. But then you look at Jutt, and it's like there's like almost like a 200-point differential there, and somehow he's still 3-3. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, he's got 17 more points than you even.
And 2 more wins. But obviously, so Gags down. That's probably one reason. By a point, that's one reason why he's got that in there.
That was sick. I can't. I haven't heard from Gags.
I haven't either. He's supposed to be here tonight.
So you want to ask him about the pain, but you know what it's like. It hurts really bad.
Yep. He claims he's working.
Yeah, it's tough too because like in his spot, he's got a defense going. So then it's hard to like, oh, what am I even rooting for at this point? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And if the Bills punch that in and win the game, obviously it's gross.
Oof. That's really gross. I mean, they had a chance to tie it too, right? They could have taken it to OT.
Yes, they could have just kicked it. They went for the win, and they're one of these teams that are like, we got big balls, and we're going to swing them. And
I mean, 9 times out of 10, they probably get that first down.
I just can't imagine why the Titans would even stop them. How did that even happen? I can't. In what world? I mean, you just had a hurt-ass Dawson Knox throwing 2 pointies to Josh Allen, and you can't get 2 yards in 2 plays or whatever. Tough, man.
That is painful. I'm sure Gags was watching it to the bitter end, but I doubt Jutt was. I mean, he might have been. I don't know. I don't know how close he is on his seat on Monday night. I don't know how close he is.
I don't know how he feels this year. I mean, 2 years ago we had this epic game back and forth with this San Francisco defense, a kicker, some Tevin Coleman shit. This was a couple
Yes,
of years
yes.
ago. And we were both out. I was out here chain smoking, watching the game, freaking out at every play. He was as well, but that was a couple
With
of
Jet.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this year, he does seem more engaged, so I'm sure that. But I think he works late. I don't know because he
Yeah.
said before, like I got home from work and that was nice to look at. 1 week of the year, so I don't know what his schedule's like, but he was checking. He was checking his phone.
Oh, if he's working, he's
Checking his
definitely
score.
checking.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was supposed to be putting onions in the soup, and he wasn't.
No, he's supposed to be yelling at somebody to put onions in the soup.
Right. That's
and
right.
then he's while he's checking his phone.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anyways, let's just jump into it. I don't really have a whole lot of unfinished business, but I do.
Yes.
I mean, my big unfinished business is still, I want to find out. We haven't heard anything from Craig or anybody in the league about this whole extra 3 points that was just awarded to Tucker, and it could change the fate of the season. I mean, it's a long shot, but Jay's going to be in the mix. And I'm just saying, I think we need to make a decision now and not week 17 or whatever it is, going to the playoffs week 14. How do you feel about it? I don't think he deserves the 3 points.
You know how I feel about it, Brian. I agree with you 100. First of all, when the kicker makes a 45-yard field goal, I want him to get 4, just like
Not
they do.
4.5, right?
Not 4.5. We're breaking our backs over here, helping these kickers out for every little bit. And it's just, I don't know, when you're adding 6 yards to a 23-yard field goal, that's 6 rushing yards for a grown-ass man to have to get through a pile of grown-ass men to get that 6.6 points. And meanwhile, it's just a lazy day for you, isn't it, Chase McLaughlin? I love the story of the people who used to go to Latrobe and watch the Steelers training camp, and guy like their who was the kicker they had for a long time?
Jeff Reed, or
no, before that, like an old Anderson type, right? One of these
not
old
Gary Anderson. I'm trying. I know who.
I mean, the kicker, whoever it was, the kicker and the punter were sitting in a van drinking wine during training camp.
Nice.
And that's the kind of shit that I like. That's what kickers are really like. I mean, dude, they're not the same.
They're not. They're not
treated the same. But anyways, I'm way off topic. I don't think you can just throw on 3 points anytime you want just because you're the coach.
Exactly. So we need to get that at least voted on, or we shouldn't even have to vote on that. Come on now.
It's not a thing. I don't think, and you know what? I think that if we got to the end of the year and Saquon gets in the playoffs by 2 points, Craig would do the right thing and be like, I can't,
but we just need to make that be known now so Jay doesn't get his hopes up, and there's that really, really minuscule chance that could make or break his season. Or can make or break the standings. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine watching the game and your kicker's lining up a 65-yarder that's a 10.5-point swing kick?
That's crazy.
Either it's -1 or 9.5 points. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I'm for it for next year. I'll vote for it, but not mid-season.
Same. I would too. I don't care. That's never going to happen again, probably. It hasn't happened in the history of the NFL that a guy went 65 plus before it. I mean, these kickers are getting good. I know, you see kicks from 61 that are good from 75. But
absolutely, yeah.
They just never try them. It's just not ideal.
All right. I think that's pretty much all I have for unfinished. Cool. If I think of anything else, we'll get back to it. But
perfect.
Let's move on to, what do you want to do first? Do you want to do trades or trainings?
It's up to you. I think the trannies are kind of lame this week. We could probably
let's do those first. Let's do those first and get them out of the way. There really wasn't anything really exciting. Let's see here.
Just the top two.
Wow, yeah, just the top two. So Possum Magic took Koo, away from away from Bean, because that's his boy. And D'Ernest Johnson. How do you say D'Ernest? Is it D'Ernest?
Ernest Johnson, yeah.
And he just got him away from Dub C, so I'm sure Dub C was a little salty, especially now he's got a touchdown.
Yeah, he did get that TD, and very good prices right action on both counts. I think
Absolutely.
you got some seasoned veterans in Possum and Gags. They kind of can get a good feel for the amount that people are going to spend, and they both did the right thing there. I commend them both, but I gotta say that I think the pick of the week has to be Johnson. I mean,
it's gotta be Johnson. You're not gonna give it to yourself for DPJ?
Nah, I grabbed him because of this Beckham thing, and honestly, I didn't even want to play either of them. Yeah. But I was kind of hoping Beckham would sit, and then DPJ would play, but then Beckham played, and no, that's a terrible waste of $11.
Okay, yeah, I agree. D'Ernest, he gets it. I mean, it's boring. We shouldn't even wasted 30 seconds talking about it. I will say this, back to unfinished business just for a minute. Damian Williams, I spent whatever it was, $130 some. First week I couldn't play him because I had Madison. You got to play Madison over him. Last week got COVID. He's unvaccinated, so this week he's probably not going to play. By the time he's actually ready to go, he's not going to be available. I'm going to waste $130 some on him.
Was it 130? I thought that was only 100.
No, it was well over 100.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like 100. I went way over the mark because at the time I really thought I needed him and wanted him, but I wasted a bunch of money on him. Let's go back just to find out. Fab offers is only a little bit. Yeah, 137.
No, that's Daryl Williams. That's not
Daryl. Sorry, Daryl.
No, you're down there 107.
107. Yeah. Okay, you're right. But it's still over 100. And it might be all for naught.
That's more unfinished business, huh?
Yes.
Fuck you, Damian Williams, you piece of shit. Vaccine, bitch. What's the matter with you, anti-vaxxer? It should separate you from the others.
That's right.
Ghetto style, you piece of shit.
All right, let's get into the trades. The trades were a little bit more interesting here. Let's get the boring one out of the way. Kirk Cousins for Matt Ryan.
Wait, don't we have to do the thing? Trade time! Trade guy! Excellent!
Woo! That wasn't bad. For Zoom, that was pretty good.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought you did great. I thought we did awesome.
Better than Detling. Way better than Do Nothing Detling. Fake changing diapers over there.
Oh my God. Dead money Detling. They call him that for he's dead money on the diapers too. Like, nope. Cashing out of the cash game early. You're gonna win that one hand, you're gonna change one diaper and he's gonna cash out.
That's right.
Maybe he'll sit there, he might even ante a couple times, play 3 hands, then he's leaving, I don't want to lose it, man.
Doesn't want to lose it. Doesn't want to lose it for his tournament style. Playing for third, baby. I'm playing for third.
Well, speaking of losing it, so he lost a guy, but he gained one here in our first trade. Brian, do you want to tell everybody what it's about?
Let's do the boring trade first. Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan. So Gags, gives up Kirk Cousins because he's on a bye, right? And then he gets Matt Ryan because he's not on a bye. I mean, is there anything more to it?
I don't think so. I think, especially, and we'll talk about this here in a minute, but I think Craig is, committed to Stafford. He doesn't want to get on that Ryan train again. Thought, probably likes Cousins. Matt, I didn't look, but I'm sure Cousins' matchup's pretty good on Stafford.
Probably.
Or something. So, pretty boring, but probably helps them both. So, gay.
Yeah, super gay.
Super.
All right. So Yinzer Jags gave up Robert Woods to get Calvin Ridley. And I mean, in the beginning of the year at the draft, you make that offer, like, that sounds crazy. What's your take on it? I mean, Calvin Ridley's been disappearing this year. So
Listen, dude, this is one of those things where I don't play fantasy hard enough, or I just don't think that much about it to where I'm dissecting these guys' schedule to the point where I'm talking myself into a situation where Bobby Trees is worth more than Calvin Ridley. Now, and let's just say for a second that you know you're not like me and you are a hard player. Now, what are you thinking about? Is it because Cooper Kupp is dominating this target share, right?
yeah, oh for sure.
Bobby Trees, I mean, he's touchdown dependent. He doesn't get double digits if he doesn't score.
Right.
Calvin Ridley's a double-digit target every week guy. Look, dude. Craig is a 6-time champion, so far be it from me to say that he doesn't know what he's doing. But this one is over my head or under it. I'm not sure. I think Matty wins this trade in a landslide. By the way,
I'm with you on that, and I think that Craig is feeling desperate, you know, near the basement with me, and I feel like Ridley hasn't done anything for 6 weeks. He has a personal reason he's, you know, out of the field. So I think Craig is so upset he didn't draft Cooper Kupp. I don't know if you heard that on one of his recaps.
yeah,
He's like, I'm gonna take second best. You know, I'm gonna take. It's like when you're dating and you're like, you really want to be dating this girl, but you're like, I'll date her fresh.
right. And then maybe I can get a little closer to her friend this way.
Eventually, well, it was middle school.
Especially when you're a younger man, when you wore a younger man's clothes.
Yes.
Not nowadays. You're a one-woman guy like me, but
yeah,
when you're playing the field a little bit, and Craig's not the type dude to like give up on a guy, but Craig's usually 4-2 or better in this spot. So maybe he is, you know, he could be a panicky son of a bitch, just like Kevin Bean, and we just don't know it because he never goes on a losing streak. Because look what happens when he does. He's giving away his superstar, Calvin Ridley.
I don't think it's going to age well for Craig. And I know for a fact, because I think he said it, and I've heard from Josh that he's been trying to get Cooper Kupp for the longest time, since probably week 1, week 2. He's finally given up trying to get Kupps, and he's like, I'll just take Robert Woods, and I'll still get that Stafford connection. But I think Ridley's going to blow up one of these weeks, and it'll probably be this week. So, yeah, I think.
Dude, I would take, I mean.
Detling wins.
I don't know. I know, and I hear what Detling was saying a little bit, but he's full of shit when he says that he was hesitant. He's hovering over the bike. He's not sure if he wants to pull the trigger. Like, you done your research. You know he's not dying of AIDS or anything. So,
yeah, he's not Danny.
Yeah, exactly. Poor son of a bitch. Yeah. But yeah, no. I heard Craig say that he liked Bobby Trees' schedule coming up way more than Ridley's. So you know, we'll see. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think you put that trade in any of these trade generators that Kevin has. He's always telling me about. They're gonna not like it at all.
Right. For Craig. They're not gonna like it at all.
No, they're not. They're gonna be like, get more. You know?
Yeah, they're gonna. But I feel like he's a little bit desperate, and he's just trying to strike gold. So
we'll see. But you know, you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, Kevin Bean this and giving Disco the key to the city and all this shit." Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing giving Calvin Ridley and Matty? Yeah. What the fuck are you doing to me? You're sucking a big wang for me, dude.
He must believe in Cordarrelle Patterson so much that he's like, Calvin Ridley's done. Calvin Ridley, he's irrelevant. You know, now we got Cordarrelle Patterson back in the scene. So
because you know the thing that Matty's 5-1 second place team needed was a superstar like Calvin Ridley on it. So fuck you very much. More unfinished. Fuck you, dude. Fuck that.
I love it.
That's the pile of trash of my unfinished business because fuck Craig on that one. And that was all the trades. So yeah.
That was all the trades.
Yeah, he gave up on their offense completely. Shoved Matt Ryan down to
Yep. He's like, Matt Ryan,
stuff him in the well too. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley, you're gone. Everybody.
You're cut. Yeah, that's a very Dubsy move of you there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Kevin. You panicked.
All right. You ready to do this week's matchups?
Yes, sir.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. This
week's
matchup. All right. Where do you want to start, Bigler?
Did I screw that up? Did I lose you for a second there?
I know I heard you. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just didn't come.
Oh, it says my internet's unstable. I got a thunderstorm coming through, but
Okay, well, fine.
As long as you can hear me, I can hear you.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
All right.
Let's do Gags, and well, I was gonna say Gags might jump in late, so maybe we should hold on to that one for a little bit.
Yeah, let's do him towards the end.
Yeah. In case he jumps in.
Let's do Yinzer versus Biscuits on the matchup of the week, right? That's got to be
for the match 2 versus 3. Yeah, wow. How is Yinzer only projected at 140? That's crazy. Does he have a lot of buys?
Yeah, I think everybody. Well, listen, this is 6 teams on a bye this week.
All right, you want to save that? We can still save that for the match of the week. I'm good with that.
The only other one I would think I'd want to do would be like Saquon versus Craig would be okay, I guess, but
5 versus 10. Yeah, I mean they've got the biggest projection, kind of, outside of you. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But let's start out with you versus CMC, since you both have people going and you both got donuts.
All right,
let's do it.
Fair enough.
You want to start it out?
Yes, sir. All right, for this matchup, we've got the Justin CMC Music Factory 3-3 and currently in 7th place. Ironically, there is no CMC on his team this year, and I think he was in there for maybe 1.5 games, but he does have a chance to. And he's going up against our current world champion of Tonto's Demise, first place Disco Danny at 5-1, 200 points a week. Disco Danny. And without further ado, let's get right into it. We've got Patrick Mahomes playing against Tennessee, going up against Kyler Murray at home against Houston. Wow.
That's a really, really tough call.
This is the kind of matchup that makes other quarterback owners in fantasy have a semi.
Yes. Wow.
Being like, damn, I wish I had one of those guys on my team.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
with Mahomes
on this one. I'm going Kyler on this one.
Okay.
Toss up. It's a coin flip.
I think they're going to be so ahead. James Conner. I'll be looking out for James Conner later.
Could be.
All right. And for receivers, we've got Mike Evans head-to-head against Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, and Tim Patrick.
Head-to-head.
He currently also has no targets. Going up against Chris Godwin, Mecole Hardman, and Odell Beckham Jr. Also with 0 points.
This is beautiful.
This is gross. I would give it to CMC based on the strength of 2 good guys against 1.
2 good guys versus 1 good guy. It's rare you see 3 head-to-head matchups, and it's, I mean, very nice.
That's cool.
3 head-to-head matchups. You don't even have to line them up you can do it any way you want. You know what? I'm actually going to give this to Chris Godwin. I think he's going to pull it. I think he's going to bring it home. I think Godwin's going to blow it up. He's due for a huge game, so I'm going to give it to your receivers.
Okay. And for running backs, we've got James Conner, like we talked about, going up against Houston D, and Chubba Hubba Huba Huba going up against the Giants in a heavily favorite game. And now we've got against JTT and Uncle Lenny. I got to go Disco's running backs here. Uncle Lenny, they're dusting him off.
Yeah.
He's more like cousin Lenny than Uncle. JTT is dominating the touches in the backfield, looking sexy doing it.
Yes, he's really, really shaping up nicely as the season goes on. Obviously, JTT is doing extremely well, as well. Yeah, I can't go James Conner automatically. Like, he might get a couple touchdowns, but I'm still gonna give it to your boys. I think they bring it home.
All right, and for tight end, we've got Ricky Seals Jones going up against DW, who's been sucking balls. He's more like Waller, the not baller. Waller, the stock faller. I'm still taking DW every time.
Still taking Waller.
Okay, and for the flex, we've got Darnell Mooney going up against Tyreek.
Not fair.
Tyreek, if you
Not
play. We've got a Gay and we've got a Prater. I'm going to go Prater.
I'll go Gay.
You will go Gay.
I will.
And then finally, we've got the Los Angeles Rams going up against Detroit or Carolina at the Giants. Both good matchups, but I like LA and a lot better there.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. I mean, Cincinnati did a really nice job bottling them up last week, and I think the Rams will do even better.
But overall, based upon what I'm looking at, I still got to take my man Disco here in a 39-point landslide.
It's possible. It could happen. I mean, I hope he doesn't break your heart like he did to Gags last week. But I think you've got too much firepower for him to overcome, especially since Tim Patrick has nothing. I mean, obviously OBJ has nothing, but yeah.
It's just gross to look at. Like, DPJ got hurt. He didn't even get a Tarjay. I don't know what's – is it Tarjays?
They are Tarjays.
Like, what the fuck?
All right, yeah, we're both.
Yeah, all right. Well, I still think I have a little bit better squad here this time.
Yeah. All right. Where do you want to go next? Let's want to go Dub C and Ed Logger.
Certainly.
All right. Ed Logger's on the board. Man, these are some really low scores, really low projections. All right. Our next matchup, we got Dub C sitting at 11th place. He's happy to be out of the basement. And he's going up against Ed Logger, who is currently 6th place. He's in the playoffs. And it's gonna be a slugfest. I mean, they're not projected to get much, but let's see what happens here.
Did Ed? I thought Ed lost to Craig this past week, huh? I didn't realize he was 3-2 going in. Okay.
Yeah, 3-2. Yeah, he could have been 4-2. That's crazy. I mean, if I can't make playoffs, I hope Ed does. I'd love to see him in the playoffs. Ed Logger with Lamar Jackson, who's having a standout year for sure, going up against Jalen Hurts. I'm taking Lamar. I know you got feelings for Jalen Hurts, but
I just think that Lamar was rough last week. Yeah. That's tough. It's too tough to call. You know what? Give me Jalen Hurts. I think they're going to be behind per usual.
Okay.
Maybe he does a little bit better.
All right. Wide receivers for Disco. We got Hollywood Brown, your old boy Cordell Patterson, and who's R. Bateman? Who's R? What's his name? Is it Rashad? Yeah. Rashad Bateman. I mean, that's a little bit of a.
Wait, I lost my thing.
What'd you say? Hold on.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Hold on. I lost our screen share. I only see this little window. Is that on your end?
No, I see it. It's back now. Can you see it now or not?
Oh, I have it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Rashad Bateman. That's a little bit of a reach for Disco. Going against
Dubsy, you mean?
A-Rob and T.Y. What's that?
I think you meant Dubsy. I think you said Disco.
Yeah, Dubsy. Sorry, that's a.
No, it's okay. It's raining like really hard out here, so My
Yeah.
audio's a little jank. Video's a little jank.
But yeah, Rashad Bateman, that's a little bit of a reach for your WR3. T.Y. Hilton, is he projected to play? Is he? I mean, he didn't do much. He's not practicing this week. We'll find out. Either way, I'm gonna give it to Dub C.
Man,
Surprisingly, I'm gonna give it to Dub C here.
I don't even want to pick some.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Dub C. No, yeah, give me Dub C on that.
Yeah, it's a shame to see Allen Robinson projected at 11. That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's not even my fault. All right. Let's see your running back. We got Gio Bernard and Eli Mitchell going up against Swift and Gibson. Got to give me Swift and Gibson all day.
Same.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, Kevin's really piecing the team together here. Tight ends, Kelsey versus Fant. Yeah,
Kelsey.
This is a pretty. And Gano versus Bass, who's not currently kicking this week. I'm assuming that he's going to be picking up a kicker this week.
Why is there not Saquon? Isn't he? I thought he was going to play.
Maybe he just hasn't been touching his lineup here.
Yeah, probably not. He was going to play Fant regardless. Is that like his regular tight end? So, yeah, he probably hasn't even messed with his lineup much.
Well, it says he's not expected to play on Sunday. Wait, yeah. So,
okay.
Maybe
Well, I mean, yeah, he wasn't practicing. Okay. Either way, well, yeah, that's.
Sorry, I skipped the flex there, but let's go to kicker. I'm gonna take whoever Ed Logger puts in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And then Goddard versus Callaway. Callaway against Seattle. All right, defense: Chicago versus Tampa Bay or Atlanta versus Miami. I don't like either one of these.
This matchup, it's like, which one do I hate the least? More than like, aside from Ed's running backs, it's been more of like, yeah, okay. So I guess Atlanta.
I guess Atlanta, just because you got TB12 thrown against you.
Man, some bye weeks and some injuries can really make you struggle to put a lineup out there.
This is a really, really tough matchup to pick because you got Kelsey on one side and you got Swift and Gibson on the other. Quarterbacks kind of cancel each other out.
And the receivers, I mean, if TY is not going to play, then what's Ed going to do there? Put Callaway in, maybe flex a little Miles Gasky and hope for a game.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I just don't think that Atlanta's D is going to do so much more than the Bears D that like it's going to swing the matchup, because I feel like Ed's running backs, Brandon Cooks and Lamar are going to carry this offense to enough points for a win, I think, for me.
I kind of agree.
I'm going to.
It's either that. I mean, Kelsey is his best hope and maybe a playing from behind hurts. But
I just read somewhere that Tyreek and Hardman are going to have 2 to 3 touchdowns each. So that's the only problem with that.
All right.
And Patrick Mahomes is going to throw all 6 of them. So
that's true. I think we're both taking Ed Logger.
Yeah. All right. I'm cool with that.
All right. Where do you want to go next? You want to do Possum and Shawshank?
Sure.
All right. Your favorite team, Shawshank, 2 and 4 Shawshank. Oh, I'm gonna get it. You can start it. I'm gonna get a quick drink. You can start it off.
All right. And for this next matchup, we've got Ryan Treesice's Possum Magic standing strong at 4 and 2 in 4th place. The only reason they're not better is because they ran into the buzzsaw that is first place Disco, who gave them a good shellacking last week. Going up against the Shawshank Athletics, who also is very lucky against Disco. Actually, unlucky. Wait, strike that, reverse it. Shawshank's 2 and 4. He's lucky to be 2 and 4. And he's also unlucky to be 2-4. It's tough when you lose with 200, but it's fun to win with 200. So, again, you know.
Yeah, Hondas are sexy
Oh,
either way.
sorry. I'm sorry for it, but I'm glad it's you, and I'm glad it's not me that's 2-4 in 8th place with a whole bunch of points. So, we've got. For our pasta match, we've got Carson Wentz off the waiver wire going up against San Fran Sunday night against Jared Goff. Going up against a revenge matchup in LA. That's,
What's that? Yeah.
I think it's going to be a revenge matchup for Coach McVay.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that.
And they're going to prove the reason why they traded him away. And I'm going to go with Carson Wentz on this one, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wentz as well. I'm sure Josh is just hoping the Goff is so far behind. He's gonna throw it 60 times, but I just don't think he's gonna get any touchdowns. He's hoping for like a lot of completions.
So I'm thinking his 75-point quarterback, 80-point quarter. Wait, or is it 30, 31, 80? Which is it? Is it 77 that he scores, or is it 29? Which, I mean, I said here, I said last week when we were on the show, you can go back if you want and listen to it. I said you should trade Herbert straight up for Matthew Stafford right now on the heels of that game.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it. And Stafford only outscored him by 7. I've been keeping a track on it now.
Ooh, nice. It sounds like you need to have.
Stafford had 40, 49, and his boy went from 75 to 32, or less than that, which cost him the matchup because, we're talking about a game where, he lost by, well, he ended up losing by 30, but it was closer than that before, Monday.
Yeah. Man, but Herbert laid an egg, that's for sure.
You say Herbert's greater than Mahomes in the chat, and I just can't believe that. Yeah, he did one time. Don't say that shit. This is the kind of thing. This is why I'm going against Shawshank so much this year. He opens his mouth sometimes and says some shit, and I know it's just to push my buttons. So I'm giving you what you want, basically. All right. And for receivers, we've got Scary Terry McLaurin, Jacoby and Myers. Got more suits than Jacoby Myers. And Nick Collins coming up at Arizona, going against Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and Michael Pittman. As much as I hate to do this, I must take Josh on that.
You got to take Josh on that.
That's
about
it's bye-week blues. And for running backs, we've got Joe Mixon, Deontay Harris going against Darrell Williams and Mike Davis. I'm going to go with Tree Slice here. I think Mike Davis is trash.
Me too.
And Darrell's second, fiddle to Tyreek and some of these other guys. So
yeah, and
I think Mixon's bounced back, and Harris's matchup's so good
against the Jets. Yeah, it's gonna be close, but I think Mixon tips the scales there. Even though it's against Baltimore, he gets it done.
There's a +0 chance that Darrell Williams has a great game.
Yeah. And
for tight end, we got Tyler Higbee versus Detroit going up against Mark Andrews versus Cincinnati. I'll take Mark Andrews. Sadly.
Yeah, Andrews.
He's having a good year. And had another good game last week, I think, somewhere around 20 points. So in the flex, we've got Rondale Moore going up against AJ Green in a matchup of Arizona wide receivers. Actually, like Green's more consistent. Rondale, you're hoping for that home run. That's the way I like to play fantasy. Give me Rondale Moore.
Yeah, AJ Green's been getting, I think, too many touchdowns. I think, for what he is at this point in his career, I'm gonna go Moore as well.
And for kicker, we got Sean-Wei Koo going up against Greg
No
else's leg.
Yes.
Give you anyway, no matter.
Yeah, Koo.
Defense, we've got San Fran at home versus Indy Sunday night, or the Saints, who we paid $27 good hard-earned dollars for. I think.
Yeah.
At Seattle, Mm.
I'm gonna take the Saints there.
I know you're supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go San Fran, and I'm gonna. Damn. Yeah, you know what? I think that we got some bye week issues here, but I think that on the strength of more these running backs, Carson Wentz, I think his receivers are going to do enough to. I'm going to go with Tree Size.
I gotta go, Josh. I think Cooper Kupp versus Detroit. I mean, he's probably gonna get enough to get it done. Andrews versus Cincinnati, and I think the Saints versus Seattle. I think those three are enough to pull it home. I think Josh goes 3-4. That's my prediction. I have a question about Josh's keepers. I criticized him keeping Andrews over. He traded AJ Brown away to Gags. I mean, it's starting to look okay for him, but I still would have kept AJ Brown.
Same, and it's only because of injury that even is a thing.
Yeah,
is all I'm saying.
And AJ Brown's starting to come back anyway.
Yeah, I'm not worried about AJ Brown. He looks every bit as good as he always has.
Ooh.
Damn, what's going on here? Is it still
Possum,
only halftime?
Yeah, it just went to halftime. Possum Magic right now is wishing he had the Cleveland D plan. 18 points.
Why? What is happening there? Who's he got? San Fran v Indy?
Yeah.
I don't like it. The reason I don't like it is because you're playing your defense against your quarterback.
Oh, like, right.
Why?
That's not smart.
Well, but I mean, okay, but think about, let's pretend for a second that we don't know the score of the game. Like,
sure.
Cleveland's defense has been playing like shit. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So that's
and they're without like their whole offense.
Right.
You can't expect them to even win that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Without zero information, you pretty much figure that the Browns are going to get blown out.
Yeah. Or at the very least, they're going to lose, costing you. And I don't think that, I think Teddy Two Gloves and their running game.
Well, could.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah, that's what, halftime, 10-0.
Yeah.
Either way, fuck you, Jarvis Landry, and all your
your 7 points.
You suck, dude. All right.
So let's move it on. Let's see here. We've got me versus Gags. We got Topes versus Saquon and Ain't So. What else do we have? We still have to do Yinzer Jackson, Biscuits and Porn. Where do you want to go next?
Okay. Wait. So we're doing Maddie and Jimmy last. Or close to last. We got your game. Why don't we let's save yours again one more time in case Gag shows up. So let's do the Topes game.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, because it'd be really nice if he could represent his team. I'm not really having a lot of faith that he's going to show up, but we'll give him a chance.
He's been eerily quiet since that.
Yeah.
I mean, usually he would call Juddy a motherfucker or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel, I've been there.
Yeah, it's deafening. All right, we got the Springfield Isotopes to claw into some semblance of life at 2-4, going up against Jay, who finally got a big win after losing a heartbreaker. He's at 3-3 in 5th place. I'm really hoping that I'm going to say off the bat, I'm really hoping Jay puts him back down a notch.
Can we add just a small piece of unfinished business to this? Yes. The only reason Craig's 2-4 is because his opponent shit the bed a little bit more than he did last week.
Yeah.
He had 150 point win. And look, I'm a victim, or I'm guilty of it too. I scored way less than 150 and one this year, but I have 4 other wins that aren't like or 5 or something. Anyway,
you did have one win that you definitely didn't deserve, but you got it.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, this is a 1-5 team. So let's go ahead and say that.
This matchup is going to be really painful for Craig if he loses, because that Rodgers was targeted like 4th round. And so he wanted that Rodgers to Devontae connection, which he didn't get. So if Roger blows him up and doesn't throw to Adams on a whole bunch, then that's going to make it a really, really tough way to lose a game. And he's going up against Stafford. versus Detroit.
I'm going with Stafford in the revenge game. He's going to murder Detroit's defense.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be. I hope. Is it gonna be? Is that a national game? I hope it is.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. I will find out where I can stream it, and that's the game I'll be watching it for.
Yeah, that's gonna be an amazing game. How often do you get to see like opposing quarterbacks from the previous teams?
Well, first of all, never do they ever do like a quarterback straight up like that.
Right, right. That doesn't happen.
You know what I mean? And then for them to play the very next season, early season, like halfway through the season, perfect schedule. Like they were like, we must do Ram, and not only that, we must do this game in LA because they're gonna make dude. It's gonna be rough.
I'm taking Stafford.
It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I think Rodgers will do all right, but Stafford's gonna crush.
Stafford for me as well.
Yeah. All right. Receivers. Adams, Bobby Trees, and T. Higgins going up against Lockett, Kirk, and Ruggs. Ugh. I mean,
gotta go.
Lockett doesn't have a quarterback. I mean, you got to go there. Nice tips.
Gotta go Topes. That one's easy.
Yeah. All right. Running backs, Chase Edmonds and Drake going up against Henry and the Hendersons.
Henry and the motherfucking Hendersons.
Dude, Henry was the pick of the draft so far.
What? Yeah. Punch me in the dick, dude.
I know.
I mean, I did look. Tyreek, for his part, put up 40. He put up 50. I mean, the guy's putting in work too. But
he is.
I mean, dude, these are 290-pound defensive linemen. Now, did you see his -3 yard run?
Yeah.
That was like the sickest run I've ever seen because he just right in between numbers, like right in the chest, dude. You just put him to sleep, like E. Wells playing against Akron or something at Ohio State. Like just go to bed now. No. Lie down there on the turf where you. Henry and the Hendersons is like
super cool. Man, he's having a really good.
He might have the best running backs. Right now.
Yeah, so we're definitely taking him. All right. Tight ends, we got Gesicki versus Pitts. Going
head to head.
Yeah, gonna go Pitts. All right, flex Sanders. Ooh, that's gotta be tough to play him. Going up against Corey Davis. I'm going Corey Davis.
Man, look, the Miles Sanders fan in me wants
him. I know. But like, what has Sanders done this year? Like, well, week 1 was okay, 17. That's about it.
Where's his pass catching?
I don't know.
Can you really trust him? Here. At least with the Jets players, they're going to be behind. Give me Corey Davis.
Yep. All right, Tucker versus Folk. Tucker. And then Indy versus San Fran or Miami versus Atlanta.
Give me Indy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just because I want to see Calvin Ridley go off, I'll take Indy.
Yeah, he's doubling down on Ridley here, isn't he?
That's right. He is. And Matt Ryan.
I'm
going Derrick Henry, dude. I'm going Derrick Henry. KC has no defense. Henderson going against Detroit.
Devontae Adams. I mean, I like T. Higgins. Chase versus Houston could be something. I kind of need it to be something. So
this isn't
for that reason I'm picking against it, and I'm going with Jay.
All right, me too. Good.
Because Chase Edmonds is guaranteed to suck ass because James Conner's going for like 49.
He could. All right, he might. He very well could. All right, I'm taking Jay as well. Let's move on.
Jay's got a good team, per usual, scoring lots of points per usual.
Yep, and somehow this year, thankfully, he hasn't had a lot of injuries, so he's kind of keeping.
Yeah, he took it on the. Yeah, well, I mean, he's far better off than he was at this time last year.
Yes.
Saquon going down. Who else did he have? Like his first 2-round picks.
Dak, Saquon.
Dak, yeah.
Yeah, I forget who else. All right. We can't wait for Gags any longer. So you're gonna have to represent Gags.
All right, I can do that.
There's two
I'm wearing the
matchups.
robe. You see me
That's
in a
that's
robe.
true. All
All
right.
right, and this wait, are you have to do it, right?
I'm me, but you can be you. You can be Gags. Hillbillies.
Yeah, but still, you are closer to the situation
True.
for realsies.
All right. This next matchup. Hold on. We got a line message. Let's see if it's Gags. Hold on a second. Wait. I think he is here. No, that was you from a long time ago.
Oh.
Here, waiting to be let in. All right. This next matchup could have been the matchup of the week for teams that are really struggling and desperately need a win. We got the basement dweller, Hillbillies on PCP, down there by himself, going up against from Gags to Riches, who just lost a game that he wanted so bad he needed to go 3-3. Couldn't get it done. He had 4 players going. That's crazy. Going up against Julio and just couldn't make up that last point. It's a tough pill to swallow.
It's for you, buddy.
Yes.
That's the tough one, dude. I'm sorry, Gags.
All right, so I got Burrow going against Baltimore, and he's got Ryan versus Miami because he didn't have a quarterback. He traded for him. Let me ask you a question before we decide here. Would you have traded away Cousins for Ryan, or would you have picked up somebody off the waiver wire?
I'd have made that trade.
Yeah.
As Gags. I think, yeah, listen, I still believe in Matty Ryan. I still think their defense is not very good. I think he's going to it's still 1 point per completion. And his floor isn't, there's no Dalvin Cook behind him that can like really hurt his floor. And that's what happens to Kirk Cousins. Okay. Like Kirk Cousins will get you 60, but then when Dalvin's going off and they're just running for 300,
he gets you 25, 30.
Or if he has heaven forbid he has a bad game, he'll throw a fucking 14-pointer out there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
For those reasons, I like Matt Ryan.
Okay, fair. I don't know. I get where you're coming from. I gotta have some faith in Burrow. I think that they're gonna be playing from behind a little bit there. I'm hoping that they need Burrow. They need to lean on Burrow.
I just look at like Justin Herbert this past week.
I know.
Today, kind of. But yeah, I mean, I like.
But look at Carson Wentz. Look what Carson Wentz did to him like the week before that. Carson Wentz threw 3 TDs against them.
And Mixon's looking good, so they have to respect him. I mean, look, both are good picks because I think both teams will be behind. So
yeah, it can go either way. All right, receivers. I'm representing with Boyd. I'm not really proud. I'm on St. Brown and Debo. Finally, got Debo back from the bye. And going up against Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Shepard. I gotta go. If everybody's healthy on his side, I gotta go him. But Metcalf does not have a legit quarterback thrown to him, so I've got that going for me.
What you don't have going for you, Brian, is that this is Black Rhino's revenge game. Don't you realize that? Like you traded him away, so
that's true. That's true.
And he knows that shit.
Yes, that's
because either he's due or this is a simulated experience. You are the center of it, therefore. And if that's the case, I mean, there's a plus 0% chance that we're in a simulation that's all about you, Brian. And for those reasons, I'm going to go with DK in this crew.
I feel you. Have you ever had a dream that you completely forgot about and then it just hits you like a couple days later? I'm sure you have.
Sure.
I kid you not. When I was driving home today, I had a vivid memory of a dream I had 2 days ago, and Tyler Boyd had 2 touchdowns. I swear to God. And I was like, oh my goodness, because I was like contemplating Tyler Boyd's putting up like 1.3, 1.7. I had a dream he put up close to 40 with 2 touchdowns. So I'm going with my receivers, Tyler Boyd.
Dude, I had a dream I slept past 8 and I didn't put Beckham in my lineup. But I don't understand that dream because he has 0 points now.
Well, yeah, it's still early, so maybe it'll make sense later. Did you actually have that dream?
A long touchdown.
Did you actually have that
I
drink?
actually did. Yeah,
All
it
right,
was nowhere near 8. By
that's
the way.
all right. Running backs. I got Kamara and Williams. Hold on, Gags is literally showing up right now. Here we go. Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Let's start this over.
Yeah, okay. You could edit this, right?
Nope. We're just gonna do it.
Hey
Yeah,
boys,
you don't do the edit. What
What
up,
up,
dude?
Gags?
and what is the chances that I come in for our matchup? Are you serious?
I swear to God, we were
Dude,
halfway.
we held off. We held off till next to last,
Yeah.
just in case you came.
We're
All
not
right. Well,
gonna-
first of all,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah,
First of all, Gags won that trade. Who the fuck wants Kirk Cousins? Ernest Johnson's pickup of the week for $32 or whatever it was.
Dude, covered.
And I have no unfinished business. Where's Crystal with the oh no she didn't with all that smack talk?
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's a great entrance. That's a great entrance.
Well, first of all, I mean, right, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I just got done polishing you up a little bit about Matt Ryan for
Yes.
Kirk Cousins. I
Yes.
picked the same thing. You won that
Yes.
trade. Also, I mean, there was 2 trannies.
We
yes.
gave it to you. We gave it
Jonathan
to
already had a TV, so we gave it to you as well.
you. So you're pretty much spot on. You caught up in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, you nailed it.
All right, so where we at with this one?
Well, we were about halfway through, but we're about to start over.
Oh, are we gonna one take this or are you gonna edit it?
Oh no, we're
No,
one
we're
taking
one
it.
taking.
We're one taking.
It's
it.
All right, all right.
Our audience will appreciate this.
All right, we've got that's right. Next up, we've got the Hillbillies on PCP in the basement, sitting in 12th place, going up against.
From gags to riches. I don't know how many I won. I don't know what years, so let's keep it rolling.
You are 2-4, coming off that heartbreak. Do you want to say anything about that heartbreak?
No, I mean, yeah, only if the Bills had won it. That's all I can say.
Exactly. Yeah, the end of that game was rough. Really
Yeah,
rough.
that's what we were saying too. Like, just we couldn't believe Tennessee stopped them twice.
Yeah,
Yards.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
That's right. It is what it is. And you're 2-4 playing against 1-5. You need this. I need it more than you do. Burrow versus Matt Ryan for court. Sorry, you're here. So Burrow going up against
Matt Ryan at Miami. I'm taking Matt Ryan all day.
yeah. Disco is 2. I'm gonna go Burrow. I think he's gonna need to be playing a little bit from behind. So I'm hoping that he gets me the points. What was your thoughts on getting rid of Cousins?
I didn't have any thoughts. The trade was delivered to me, and I said, yeah. I didn't even hesitate. I clicked, yes, please.
listen, and that's he's kind of. I just didn't understand. Other than the bye week thing, the only thing I thought was that Cousins must have a dream matchup whenever Stafford.
I mean, I looked at it at the end of the year. He's got a pretty tough schedule. I mean, I don't know why he wanted him, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that was a handy move for you, and I picked Matt Ryan before, and I'm sticking with it. Let's go.
Okay. And Bigler, I just think that Craig's given up on the entire Falcons team. He's getting rid of Ridley, getting rid of Matt Ryan, so he's going he's anti-Atlanta right now. All right. My receivers, I got Boyd, Mott St. Brown, and Debo's back going up against
DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Sterling. Say it ain't so, Shepard. Got no Tooney to compete with. We're good all day.
Listen, I said before that it's DK Metcalf's revenge game. He's going to go off. This is a landslide in this one for me.
The only thing that might swing at Gags is 2 days ago, I had a dream that Boyd put up 40 and 2 touchdowns. So I swear to God, it's just one of those dreams that you randomly have, and I did. So I'm going with my receivers. But
dude, what is up with this 7-minute drop? What is going on? Cleveland hasn't even had the ball yet in the second half.
That's crazy.
Annoying.
But yeah,
got Josh Jacobs and Ernest Johnson going up against
Kamara and Williams, who's on COVID, and I'm probably not going to play him anyway.
Do you have anybody else you can put in there?
Not right now, but I'll find somebody. Look at that.
All right.
Look at that
You'll
beautiful
find.
bench.
Oh man, that's gross.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still taking me.
I can't do that.
You can't take
So-
Kamara? Go against
I mean,
because
you crazy?
I mean, you already got a nice start with Johnson, and you've got one running back against that, and Jacobs isn't going to.
I mean, and they're in Seattle. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup.
No way, he's putting up 30.
But depending on who you're picking up to slide in there, I might take you over Josh Jacobs. So I'll give it to you.
All right.
I of all people would know Kamara can drop 6 touchdowns at any given point. So
That's true.
Wow.
You know that very well. All right. In the tight end position currently, I have Zach Ertz going up against
what is it? 4 broken ribs, Rob Gronkowski. I'll give it to Ertz.
Yeah, is
I'll give
Gronk
it
going to
to-
play?
I don't know if he practiced yesterday, so I haven't really looked at him, but I don't have anybody else to put in there, so it's
It
gonna
looks like
be.
you might be picking. You're going to pick somebody up if you have to, right?
Yeah, if I have to, I mean, I don't want to drop anybody that's on my bench. To be honest with you, I really like everybody that's there.
Dude, you can get rid of Josh Gordon. Get rid of Josh Gordon.
Until they know what he's doing there, I'm gonna keep him on my bench.
Okay. All right.
I got some trade offers out there. Don't you worry about that.
In the flex, I got TJ Hawkinson going up against
Robbie. Fuck you, Anderson.
I'm going Hawk.
I hate this guy. Every year I draft him. I don't know why I keep picking him up. He's going TJ.
Yeah, but you know what? He's gonna have one game. It's probably gonna be this one. He's gonna have one game this year.
Yeah, just to prove that you can't beat me. So
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, and then we got
Butker.
Yeah, Butker. I'll give it to Butker because it looks like McLaughlin must. He looks like he missed.
He got one blocked.
Oh, I did see that it was blocked.
Yeah.
All right, Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It looks like we lost Disco there. So
that's all right. He's been stealing the show this last hour.
Yes, the whole last hour and then some. All right. Overall, I mean stuff because
do you want to give the answer at the same time?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking me.
Myself. Because I feel like this is one of those games that for me it's almost a nail in the coffin. It's like pounding it almost the entire way down. There's just a sliver of light coming through, and you going 2-5 wouldn't be pretty either.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. But Disco and I both agree we don't really care what fucking Yahoo projections say. Last week I was projected 155 and put up 160 something. So
yeah,
I think everybody's gonna go off. AJ's gonna have a game. Shepard's gonna have every target. Ingram's not even gonna be around. So I think my whole team goes off.
I do think AJ is going to do really well. Like you said, Shepard is going to do well. Do you want to trade me, Tony? Or I'm sorry.
No, he's my keeper for next year, baby.
All right. Okay. Fair.
All right, what do we got for the matchup of the week?
We are on to the matchup of the week. Do you know which one it is?
Looking at this, I would say Disco and Juddy.
Nope, we already did it.
Damn.
Hold on a second. Oh, I just clicked on it accidentally. It is Biscuits and Porn versus Yinzer Jags.
I mean, this is a real snooze fest. This week just really decimated everybody with the bye week just coming in. Like,
I know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Projections are sad.
I do have a confession. I have a trade offer going to Maddie right now to help his running back game. So
okay, well,
hopefully he takes it. He listens to this podcast and says, "You know what, Gags, let's do it."
He won't listen to it because he's told me he listened to 10 minutes of last week's. He liked what he heard, but he listened to 10 minutes. So
Yeah, unfortunately last week I don't know why you didn't tell me, but my microphone volume was set way too high. I listened back to it and it was god awful. So
oh
hopefully
really?
it's a little bit better this week.
Was it? I mean, when we taped it, it seemed fine, but
Yeah, when it played back, when I started watching it back, I was like, I would say 25% higher than you or Disco in
oh
volume.
wow. All right, well, yeah, hopefully it's better today. All right.
Shameless plug to the Samsung Pros. That's why. All right, matchup of the week. Who do you want to take? You want to take?
Disco just texted. My laptop died. Play me out. That's funny. All right.
I don't have any music queued up.
Who do you want?
I'll take Matt.
All right, I'll take Jim. All right, now we have the matchup of the week. Coming in third place, we have Jim Crick Biscuits and Porn sitting in third place at 4-2, going up against.
We got Big Dick Injure Jag's new dad at 5-1 in second place, trying to hold on.
And you know what? I talked to him today a little bit. I finally got to meet the kid, via FaceTime. And you know what? He was not wearing two things. He didn't have flannel on. And what was the other thing you wanted him to do?
He didn't have a robe on?
Didn't have a robe or flannel. Nothing.
Right. That's the first thing you should have went out and got.
Yeah. He had like this new dad shirt. It's a new dad and then rookie. I was like, man, that is lame.
Because he got #1 dad on it.
Something like that. Yeah. It was rookie dad. It was pretty funny.
All right.
Like, well, my mother-in-law got this for me. I have to wear it.
All right, let's get into this. We got Ryan Tannehill going against Kansas City at home.
Ooh, going up against Brady versus Chicago. I'm gonna go Brady.
Yeah, I mean that's a very high projection for Brady, 54. But I mean, I think he's going to come close to it. I think he's going to put up 52.
Yep, and I think Derrick Henry still does what he does.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to go away from that game until they can get stopped. So
yep.
We got DeAndre Hopkins, D Moore. What's his first name?
DJ
Moore and Calvin, newly acquired Ridley.
Going up against Devontae Smith, AB. Is that Van Jefferson? What's his first name?
Van Jefferson.
That was right. All right. What do you think?
I'm going Matty here. DJ Moore against New York and Calvin Ridley against Miami. D Hop going against his old team. I mean, I think they all put up 25.
Yeah, I mean his receivers are pretty sick right now. He's got Sutton in the flex, Ridley, Moore, and Hopkins. That's a really nice trio. I don't know what you offered him, but he definitely needs an upgrade in running back. So if he takes it, it'll improve his running backs.
I offered him a 2-for-1 deal. That's all I'll say.
Okay, 2 for 1. Well, I'm sure he's pondering. All he has is time, so I'm sure he's gonna.
Yeah, he'll ponder it until Saturday and decline it. You know how he is.
You're probably right.
So we got Devontae Booker and Javonte Williams
going up against Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
Going double Green Bay on here, huh?
Yeah, double Green Bay is going to get every rushing or receiving touchdown from a running back.
Yeah, I mean, strength of Aaron Jones, you got to take him.
Yeah, Aaron Jones.
Sorry, Matt, you got nothing.
That's right. He's the only legitimate running back there. So going Jones.
All right, we got CJ Uzomah at Baltimore
versus Jonnu Smith and the Jets. Going against the Jets.
Man, both of these are gross.
Yeah, it's like who gets a touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, I think Uzomah's gonna get a couple more catches.
Yeah, I'm with
Jacoby Myers really got it locked up there for receiving. So yeah. I'm going CJ.
Yeah, and you got Hunter Henry, there as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go Uzomah.
Yeah, he vultured a touchdown last week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it Cortland Sutton at Cleveland? He's already got 8.6.
Yeah.
In the third quarter.
Not bad. Against J.D. McKissick. And I'm guessing what's his name? He's not. Who's the Gibson?
Yeah, Gibson. Yeah, Gibson.
Is he playing?
He's out.
Is he out? Okay.
I believe so. I think they posted it today. He was out.
Yeah, if he's out, I'm gonna go McKissick.
I'm going Sutton. I mean, Sutton's really one of their only receiving options they got until Judy comes back. So
True, and right now they're playing from behind, so that could work out. I'm gonna go McKissick because they're gonna be behind.
okay. Brandon McManus. It's already got 1 point.
1 point in the third
Oh.
quarter.
Darnest Johnson's in the red zone. Thank you, Yahoo.
Oh jeez. Going up against Crosby.
Oh man.
I'm going Crosby.
Yeah, I'm going. Man, Jim is really heavily into this Green Bay.
that game.
Green Bay and the New England game.
He's got 2 games to watch.
All right. Tampa Bay going against New England. Tampa Bay against Chicago, New England against the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to take New England versus the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to take that as well. Overall, who are you taking there, Brian?
Overall, let's see here. This is a pretty good matchup, to be honest with you. I mean, Dentley's got all the receivers for the most part, and Chris got he's got more strength in running back, quarterback, and I don't know. I think Crick's going to take it down on the strength of Brady in New England.
Yeah, he's got some good buns.
He does.
I don't know. Tampa Bay could really take that to Chicago too. With those receivers, I'm really liking Matty. But I'm taking Jim.
Taking Crick as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, what are your thoughts about the since we didn't get a chance to talk to you about it, what are your thoughts on the Ridley trade? What was it?
Ridley for Woods?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fair. I haven't looked at their like game lineups for the rest of going forward.
Yeah.
But I mean, Atlanta, they play New Orleans, they play Carolina all the time. I mean, they're gonna have good matchups. Whereas that NFC West is difficult. And Robert Woods, I mean, Cooper Kupp is the man right now. So
he is.
I mean, Ridley. I mean, Matty. I think Matty won that trade.
Yeah, that's what Disco and I said. I mean, Ridley hasn't really had any games this year. He's going to break out at some point. Atlanta's going to be playing from behind. Cordarrelle Patterson's not going to last forever. So,
yeah, and Matt Ryan's not going to only throw to Pitt, so he's got to sling it around to somebody else.
Right. And it's like, I don't know what Ridley's dealing with personally, but taking that game off. I don't know why Craig. I think Craig got spooked. I don't know if he's feeling desperate, but he made the move. So
yeah, I mean, Craig's been moving people all week. I don't know what his prerogative is here. I mean, normally he's got some wizard moves, but I think he lost both those trades. To be honest with you,
I agree. I think he lost both trades. He's a little desperate, and he's hoping to strike some lightning here.
Hey, it's hard to catch it in a bottle when you're that far behind. And at what point does it even matter? Like you're 2 and 4, you're about to be 2 and 5. So he's got to do something to make a real run. And Woods and Kirk Cousins ain't it.
That's very, very true. Very true. And at the same time, like if my prerogative personally is I don't necessarily see myself coming back. I mean, I'm just going to put it out here right now. Like, I'm just going to try eventually just be a spoiler, B, try and get maybe some value for next year and trade some of my big pieces away for hurt, great keepers. So I think that's better than just like losing a bunch of trades in the regular season.
Brian, we got 9 weeks to go?
I'm not throwing.
And you're already talking about throwing in the red flag?
I'm not throwing the towel in yet. But you know what?
I mean, that's not what it sounds like.
I know. Well, dude, if I don't win this week, for sure, because I'm playing Disco next, I still have to play Josh, I believe. I've got a really steep hill to climb here. I got to play Detling again. So anyways, It's not over.
Yeah.
It's not over yet, but it's not looking pretty.
Yeah, no, I mean, I said it in the lineup. I mean, I'm dealing with a lot of injuries right now, and when they come back, hopefully I win one or two of them before I get all my people back, and then finish this thing strong. I'm really hoping to sneak in to the playoffs like I did in the first year here, and sneak a win somewhere.
Yep. All you need to do is make playoffs. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. And looking up and down my lineup and my matchups going into those last 4 weeks, man, they got some really good matchups.
Yep. You just got to get there. You got to get there to make it, a possibility. Ooh, man, 18 points from D. Ernest Johnson. You got to love that.
Oh yeah. What happened? Touchdown?
No, he didn't. It's legitimately just like 18 points. Like he's got 8 yards. He's got his 1 TD and 2 catches for 22 yards.
Pickup of the week.
It was the pickup of the week, and he's proving it right now. All right.
Yeah, I didn't see how many other people bid on him, but I mean, what did I win him for 37?
You know what it was? It was one. I'm going to show it to you right now. Can you see your screen?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, hold on a second here. It was one other player, and you got him by like $3 or $4. You want to take a guess who it was?
Josh.
Nope. Dub C.
Oh man.
$23. You got him by $4.
Price is right, baby.
That's right. That's exactly what Disco said. But yeah, Young-Uku is the only other one that was like 2 people bid on it, and Ed Logger, Ed put in a bid of 0 just to try and steal him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Kareem Hunt and Chubb out, I mean, I'm hoping to get 2 weeks out of them at least, for $27 for 2 weeks. It's not a bad price.
That's a great price. I mean, he's already paid off.
I mean, it's not 137 for Darrell Williams to go on right onto the COVID list, but it'll work.
That's right. No, you mean Damian Williams? I made the same thing. I made the same.
No, Darrell Williams, 137.
Oh yeah, but he didn't go. He didn't go to the COVID list.
Oh no, okay.
My boy did for 107.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get to use him. I paid $107 for him. I'm not even gonna get to use him. I'm convinced of it.
I mean, everybody knows I have some bad fab going on in the past.
Yes.
I'm not even upset about it.
No, we remember.
All right, you got anything else, Brian?
No, I think that's about
my 2 dads or
no. Let's see here.
And then a baby, anything?
I do have to tell you real quick for Delling. He told Disco and I that he been changing a lot of diapers, and I got a chance to FaceTime him and Brogan today, and turns out he's changed 0 diapers to this point. So he claims he's changing diapers. He's not changing.
Yeah, I mean, he's dreaming about changing diapers.
That's right. So he's got to step up his dad game.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't have the flannel on, not changing diapers. I don't know what he's doing.
Didn't even buy a robe.
No.
I'm sure Disco's got an extra robe he can lend him.
I'm sure he does. It
might smell a little bit and have some weed on it, but it'll do.
But at least a starter robe.
Yeah, starter robe.
And then they get him going, so he can get his own.
Yeah, man.
Oh. You got anything else?
I got nothing else. I mean, I'm glad I was able to get in here.
Yeah, it was
right
perfect timing.
Matchup is pretty
perfect
good.
Timing.
Yeah, some guy drove through his garage at 7:00 at night, so I had to go board that up. So.
Oh wow, were you basically on call and just had to go out and fix it up?
Yeah, of course I was covering for somebody else and get banged out, but it is what it is. 5 hours to do a whole lot of nothing. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you made it back just in time.
Just in time. All right, you ready, Brian?
I'm always ready, guys. Beautiful.
Have a good game, buddy.
That was a great game. All right, I'm going to stop this share. I'm going to stop this recording.